So we go back to the house, all of us, our friends, and the kids had a little sips of alcohol, so they're loose. And we start telling ghost stories. Now, we have a benevolent ghost out in our house in Long Island.
Lives in the house.
We've had the house for almost 20 years.
20 years,
20 years. It lives there. It's a rascal. It doesn't do anything bad. But we were all talking about certain instances where, we were looking for something for hours. It was on the counter. It wasn't there anymore. We come back. You start yelling at me because you thought I tricked you to put it back on the counter. It was there, right where we were searching for it. Things like that.
Just stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Fire alarm going off, always at 2 o'clock in the morning.
When I'm not in town.
And like the fire department not being able to shut the alarm off and the alarm company not being able to shut the alarm off.
Just little things.
Stuff.
So Joaquin's sitting there, and he's a big, tough guy, just had his grasshopper drink. He's like, I don't believe in any of that stuff. I'm like, all right. You don't believe in it. That's cool. And so the next morning he gets up and he says, all right, so who moved the figurines on my desk? I said, what do you mean? They're all facing out. They're from Alien or something like that? The big
I don't
bust,
know
whatever.
what I honestly was like making breakfast and not paying attention. I just knew like fighting was happening and something about figurines.
Accusations,
and
right?
Mom, you moved them, Mom. I know you came down there and moved them.
So,
and I'm like, I don't even know what you're
talking about.
So
they were facing out towards the room, and when he went downstairs, they were all facing the wall.
Wow. Right.
And so they're all asking who did it, and
And you're the scapegoat.
I'm the scapegoat. They're like, Dad did it. Dad did it. I'm like, I didn't do it. Just like that.
But
Like, he's lying.
Yeah. Every time you laugh, they think that you're lying.
And then I didn't do it. Like, he looked to the left. He's lying. That's a tell. You look to the left. And now I'm laughing because I go, that was such a good trick. I wish I'd have done that. I wish. And they don't believe me. And like, I didn't do it. And Joaquin's like, that's not cool, Dad. You guys are telling ghost stories. The next day you move stuff. That's not cool. I'm like, you did it, right? Just tell me you did. I go, I didn't do it. So the whole day goes on. That night, Joaquin goes into Lola's room. He's like, what, Lola, can I sleep in your room? And she knocks on Michael's room. Michael, can I sleep in your room? And Michael comes out in his underwear. He's like, can you please sleep with this? Make him just, Joaquin, you're 20 years old. You got it, nothing. He's like,
all the kids are like screaming at each other.
Yeah, and so they all sleep in Michael and Joaquin sleep in their old room, the bunk bed.
They sleep in the bunk room, in the bunk bed room.
Right.
With the bunk bed.
So
like when our friends who have young children come and stay with us, that's where we put the small kids.
He made his
They're
older
like toddler
brother,
beds.
He made his older brother sleep in the bunk. So the next morning at breakfast, he goes, the craziest thing happened. At 1 o'clock in the morning, or close to 2 o'clock in the morning, the time the alarms...
It's always 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. The times the alarms goes off, I felt a cold chill, and then I go, I don't believe in ghosts. I'm not afraid. And he felt on his bed.
Yeah, but let me explain to you what that is.
On the foot of his bed.
Okay, you want to know what that is?
What?
And I gave it to him. Again, I do concur that weird things happen in that house. Like weird...
Ghostly things.
Not demonic, just weird.
Right.
Okay? But the air conditioning kicked on, so that would be the cold breeze.
Right.
And I believe he was probably sleeping and maybe dreamed something or thinks.
He said he was wide awake. No, he said he was wide awake.
I know he says he was wide awake, but I mean...
And I said, you tempted the ghost by saying you don't believe in ghosts.